Crappie. Doobie don't like the crappie. Who else likes the crappie? That's crappie fish, that is. This is a crappie. So I'm here to read you guys the rules of the first annual Rodney Hughes Memorial Tournament. I try to not say Rodney Hughes Memorial Day Tournament, get them confused. Rodney Hughes Memorial Tournament. So, reading of the rules. These are the official rules. The tournament will be May 6th. So, rule number 1. You may fish alone or as a 2-member team. Teams may start fishing line and water anywhere on the lake May 6th at 7 a.m. and may continue fishing until 3 p.m. Any fishing before above noted times of the day of the tournament will result in disqualification. Cost is $30 per team, $20 towards the main pot, and $10 towards big fish. There is an additional guaranteed $1,000 sponsored payout donated by Hughes Trucking. So there's $1,000 plus all the entry fees because it's sponsored now. I know that might be difficult for someone to understand, but it's $1,000 on this one plus the entry fees. So, excuse me. Captain team meeting to take a moment to remember Rodney will start at 6:15 out of Chippewa. You must be signed up and checked in at Chippewa by 6:30 on May 6th. All teams must check in the day of. You can check in as early as 6 a.m. Sign-ups will be at Mike's Bait and Tackle or at the Chippewa Way Station. Only take cash. So, basically, you can sign up at Mike's or you can come to the way station at Chippewa and sign up. Either way, you have to come and check in the day of the tournament at the Chippewa boat ramp at the way station. So that way you can do mandatory live well checks, stuff like that. We're going to do them. It may not be right here, but that's why you come and check in. So you have to sign up and then come check in. So you must be checked in by 6:30. Like I said, we're going to take a minute, just maybe have somebody take a minute to remember Rodney, because this whole thing, and I didn't know the guy personally, but he loved fishing from what I hear, and he loved getting people out and enjoying fishing. So that's why we're doing the junior angler things bumped up against this. And I know you're allowed to have a 2-person team. We're going to get further into the rules. You can have youth that are entered in the youth derby also on the boat, but your fish are your fish. It explains it in the rules. So, rule 4, payout will be 60% to first, 25 to second, 15 to third for the main pot. Big fish payout 100% unless tied. You can only fish tournament waters, which are defined as areas open to all participants of the event and accessible by normal boating navigational means. Basically, if you can boat there under normal navigational boating means, so you can't fish below the spillway. That's kind of where it gets. It's in play. Fishing within 50 feet of a competitor's boat, which is first anchored, and this includes power poles and talons, is prohibited. A safe, courteous distance should be maintained when trolling motors are in use or anchored. Any use of off-limit waters will result in disqualification. So, basically, give everybody 50 feet. Easy enough. All right? Live or artificial bait may be used. So, bring your best bait. It really don't matter if it's live or artificial. You may use it. Crappie must be hooked and landed by team members. Crappie must be hooked through the lip or in the mouth. So, as I mentioned, we're going to have the Junior Anglers of Ohio doing a youth fishing derby. Please bring out your kids to join you on the boat. All right. We want any kid that's entered in the youth derby may also go out with you and your team member. But all the crappie you bring to us must be caught by you or your team member. The kids' stuff, let them do it. That's the kids' catches for the kids' derby. All right. And you must hook the crappie in the mouth. Simple enough. Teams must comply with all state fishing boating regulations. Fishing and boating licenses are the responsibility of the team members. So, you must have your fishing license. And if you are any younger than me, meaning if you are 41 or younger, you must have a boater's license. Weigh-in lines will open at 2:30 p.m. Anglers must be in the weigh-in line no later than 4 p.m. No team will be allowed to join the weigh-in line after 4 p.m. So the official weigh-in, you can come weigh in as early as 2:30. All right? In case you guys just got. We got the 5 biggest on the lake and we got them by 10 a.m. You can't do anything with them until 2:30. All right? So at 2:30 you can bring them to us. Crappie must be weighed in at the official weigh-in site. Only one team member needs to be present to be eligible for a prize. So if like one of your team members got to go hit a restroom or whatnot, you just got to have one of you guys there. All right. Oh, okay. And I also got to do a big thanks to Shelby County Crappie Club and Matt Tuttle for letting me hijack some of their rules. I've never hosted a crappie tournament and I've never written rules for it, so I appreciate this, you guys. This is one of the ones I stole. I stole all of the. I mean, this is basically the rules modified, but I like this one. All right. Teams can weigh in not more than 5 crappie. So you can only bring 5, and you can only weigh in 5. All fish must be alive when entering the official weigh-in line. Any team with more than 5 crappie will be disqualified. Once you have entered the weigh-in line, you may request for an officer to verify your fish is alive if you have fish struggling. So, if you come and there's like 10 people all waiting to weigh in, and you got fish that are kind of struggling, you can say, hey, yo, verify my fish. And what we'll do is we'll come over and we'll simply verify that at that moment while we're looking at them, they are alive. It's hard. We don't want to disqualify anybody for a dead fish, but we do know it's hard. And if there gets to be a line, it becomes even harder. So please, try to do the best you can. Keep those fish oxygenated. Keep them, I was about to say hydrated, but keep them oxygenated and keep them, well, fresh water, and keep them as healthy as you can. Once an officer verifies your fish and it expires in the weigh-in line, it will count as legal fish. So, hey, you know what? If I come out and verify it and then 5 minutes later you're still waiting to weigh in, you got one roll and it's belly up, I've already verified it. It's alive. We're good. Things happen. I don't suspect that we'll have this issue because I don't suspect we'll have a weigh-in line. I'm just trying to plan for worst case scenarios. All right. If the officer declares any of the fish are already expired when he comes to verify them, he will remove those fish and the weight will be determined on the rest of what the fish are that are left. You may continue to the scales for the official weigh-in master. So one of the 3 directors will be the weigh-in master. We'll have this work. Somebody will be an officer. Somebody will say, yes, that's good. Just holler at us. All right. All crappies brought to the scale for weigh-in must have been caught during tournament hours from the waters by the team members bringing them to the scale. So you have to have caught them on May 6th between 7 and 3, 7 a.m., 3 p.m. You have to have caught them on the navigable waters of Indian Lake. And you and your partner had to have caught them. All right. All crappie presented at the weigh-in must be 9 inches in length and not have any weight enhancements. We know where this one comes from. Any team bringing illegal crappie to the weigh-in will be disqualified. So if your crappie are under 9 inches, immediately disqualified. Even if it's just one crappie, immediately disqualified. If your fish have weights in them, we have weights in fish. If we have to use that line, you are disqualified. All right. So no weight enhancements to the fish. Yeah. Big fish prize will only be one prize unless there is a tie, and then it'll be split between the tie. I don't foresee there being a tie. We're going to be using my scales that I use for the catfish tournament for the sand crappie tournament. They measure down to the 100th by 100th. So that goes 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04, and on up. So I really don't suspect that we'll have a tie. But if the case there is a tie in the big fish, it'll split. Actually, all the prize spots will split if there is a tie. Protests must be made to the tournament director immediately upon the conclusion of the weigh-in. So if you have a protest of your own fish being weighed, or if you have a protest of somebody else's fish being weighed, you must make this protest to the director immediately after those fish were weighed in. No waiting like 2 hours and then protesting. After the fish is weighed in, you may protest. If you don't, forever hold your peace. You are married. In the case of a tie for any money positions or for the big fish, the money will be split evenly between the tying teams. It's just the way it is. If there's a tie, we're just going to split it down the middle. No tiebreakers, no none. It is. All right. Most important rule of all of these. Instances of poor sportsmanship-like conduct can and will be grounds for disqualifications if circumstances require. So, your tournament directors that make this call will be Mike Endicott, Mike Hughes, and Dave Jarvis. They are your tournament directors for this tournament, all right? I'm just helping them out. I have the youth junior angler fishing derby to deal with. So I'm a helper, or an officer, as you'd say, for this one. They are the directors. Everything comes down to their final word. All right? So it's on them. And if they say something, it goes. And they've approved all of this. So now time to thank the sponsors. Well, first and foremost, we must thank Hughes Trucking. Thank you so much, Hughes Trucking, for donating the $1,000 guaranteed prize pot. Hats off. Like I said, it's $1,000 plus $20 from every entry. The other $10 from every entry goes to the big fish prize. So thank you, Hughes Trucking. We also had the Locals Pipe Fitters, Plumbers, and Service Workers Union 776. So I probably screwed that up. I think it's Local Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, or Local Pipe. We have the Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and Service Union Workers Union 776 out of Lima. Nathan Chapman helped set this up. They donated a nice sum towards the Junior Angler Fishing Derby that we will be using to make sure every kid walks away with an actual real prize. Badass Baits also donated, so thank you. ACC Crappie Sticks donated it nice. They donated a special... I don't know if Mike's released it. They've donated a big fish prize to go along with the big fish pot. We'll just say that. Cass Cray, thank you guys for, thank you and Rick for donating, obviously. Indian Lake Boaters, Helping Boaters, thank you for reaching out and donating. Mike's Bait and Tackle, as always, thank you for hosting, helping, and donating. And then Gene's Marine Bait and Tackle, as always, are willing to help to donate and whatnot. So there are your rules. All right. If you got any questions, reach out to Mike Endicott. Reach out to me. Let us know. But I think I pretty much covered it all. Like I said, 2 people teams, $30 per team per entry. $10 goes to the big fish. $20 goes to the main. You can bring the kids out, enter them in the youth fishing derby, have them on the boat with you. But your catches are your catches, and their catches are their catches. So, May 6th, we really don't have a backup date for this. So, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, and the way this weather and winter and the way this stuff's going, I'm predicting May 6th we shall have 10 inches of snow, but 0 ice. So it'll be cold with lots of snow, but no ice. Should hire me as a weatherman. I mean, it's just about right. All right, you guys. Thank you very much. And let's all, in remembrance of Rodney Hughes, take a moment and remember how much fishing brings families and friends together. Because that's kind of what all he was about. Getting those and getting others out fishing, enjoying the sports of fishing, enjoying the outdoors. I didn't know him personally. Mike's told me a lot of stories about him. And it seems like getting people to fish together happily with the youth was something he would fully endorse. So, tight lines, solid hook sets. Toodles, y'all.